Hi, hello. It's been a while, so today I'm planning to video two videos because it's been so long. This one is going to be on some more sustainable solutions for personal care products. And so there are kind of key things to think of when making your choices as consumers of personal care. Is the health for your own body and also the health for the planet and other beings, namely animals and the people who are involved in making the products. So kind of top at the list of the consideration is plastic. You're aware of reducing the level of plastics we use, but also equally and probably more so chemicals, because they, if you like, are as damaging as the plastics, but we just can't see them. So they harm, lots of high, heavy use of chemicals harm the biodiversity, get into waterways and, compound the climate crisis that we're facing and, the driver, if you like, for us to consider more sustainable and ethical choices as consumers. So my name's Mary and it has been a while for Eco Balance courses. I'm here sat in just the most beautiful place in a little sand dune covered in flowers, and you might be able to hear the ocean. I will take some footage, so hopefully this video will be bookend with some pretty pictures of footage of flowers and the waves, and certainly the other video, that the update video that I also plan to make will include just those visuals, because it's so beautiful here on the Gower coast, which is where I am. So that I will look at some typical kind of products that we choose or use as consumers, and I'm sorry you can't see them all laid out in front of me, but I'll pick them up and talk about them. I just thought it would be much nicer to be in a field or in a sand dune covered in flowers than sort of in my kitchen at home. So one is kind of tissues. There's toilet roll that we use, and this is not bleached, so it reduces chemicals. This particular one is called Naked Sprout, and they also donate to water charities overseas to help people with clean water infrastructure, which is a good thing. So that's non-bleached recycled toilet paper, Naked Sprout. I'm not sponsored by any of these companies, but it just helps in your own research to find the types of companies that produce these items, and I'll talk a bit more about that in a moment. There's also Cheeky Panda. They make tissues. These are biodegradable facial wipes and Kleenex tissues that are made out of bamboo, which is a much more sustainable crop than different woods or that are more slow growing, and this can be quite rapidly growing. Although we get into other debates about water use, but bamboo at the moment is a kind of relatively sustainable crop for producing papers and things. And if you want to take tissues out and about, you can just buy a recycled box and not use the little plastic poly pockets, but just decant and fold some of these tissues into something to put in your pocket, so you don't need the plastic wrapped tissues when you're out and about. So I'll just get rid of those up there. And then cleaning our teeth. So this is another opportunity where we can reduce our use of chemicals, because there are chemicals in pretty much all personal care products, and they obviously have an impact on the environment, the use of the chemicals, but also as you are ingesting them. And there are obviously safety standards. It depends how you feel about these things, but there are companies or producers that just reduce the levels of chemicals in these different products that I'm showing you. And this is a toothpaste tablet in a tablet form. So again, that reduces the plastic, because obviously regular toothpaste comes in the plastic tube, so you can have the tablets if you prefer. where it really minimises your use of plastic as well as the chemicals in different products. Oh, It's just rolled down the hill. And then, you know, it's very well publicised about toothbrushes. You know, this is once a month you're chucking one of these away. That over a year can be a lot of plastic. You can buy this type that has the disposable heads, so you're just changing the heads every month and, you know, not using so many sticks. Or there are bamboo, wooden toothbrushes where you have the whole toothbrush made out of a more sustainable material and reducing the use of plastic. There are also bamboo electric toothbrushes now as well, if you need to use electric toothbrush for your own dental reasons. Here we have some deodorants. These deodorants are probably one of the personal care products where there can be high level uses of chemicals and elements. Things like aluminium to prevent sweating is put typically in most deodorants that you will see in your shops. This is one that doesn't do that. And so is this one. This is called Scrubber. And the nice thing about this one is obviously you can see this tiny little cardboard packaging. So obviously this one has the reduced chemicals, but it's still using the plastic. And this one has dispensed with the plastic. So, and it's made out of natural oils, you know, homeopath, what are they called? Aromatherapy oils. So it's all entirely natural product for deodorants. And then skincare. This is Faith in Nature hand and body lotion. Again, reducing the chemicals. Yason is fairly ethical, not the most ethical of personal care products, but this vitamin E oil is just a vitamin E oil, so again reducing a lot of chemicals. And these companies, as they're not quite so mainstream, they also quite often, the lesser known companies that have an ethical, sustainable outlook because they're making the effort to be biodegradable, to have low use in chemicals, also take care of animal welfare by not testing on animals. So that's really important. And, you know, the environmental policies, the impact of how they dispose of the chemicals that are involved, because this is plastic, can quite often be a bit more ethical. And I've mentioned in Sustainable Solutions mobile phones about a website called The Good Shopping Guide, where you can do a little bit of research about different producers and companies that provide your personal care products in this instance, to see how they rate ethically, because it's also important how they pay workforce, for example. So and unfortunately quite often the most well-known companies are the ones with the most problematic processes, because in the current system of economics, which is kind of one of the things that we look at in eco-balance courses, you know, we have a dominant system that extracts basically profit, which often means exploiting either the environment, animals, or labour or human workforce. So one way of untangling from that and not investing in exploitative practices is by taking care of which companies you actually purchase from as a consumer. And the Good Shopping Guide website, I'll put it down below. It's mentioned, the link to it is a good way of researching what you purchase as a consumer, and it's also mentioned in a previous video about mobile phones that I did. So that's those. Faith in Nature also produce shampoo and conditioner, and they do these products also in like the really 5-litre bottles, so you can decant from a 5-litre bottle into the smaller bottle, and obviously over the process of a year or a couple of years you're reducing your use of disposable plastic, or not disposable plastic, because plastic isn't very disposable. But you know, so it reduces that. There's also, it's a sunny day today, so this is some sun lotion. It's organic, it has less harmful chemicals in, can be helpful for different skin types, and this one is sensitive for marine life, so it biodegrades, so it doesn't. And if you can imagine all our sun creams getting into the waterways, that's really important that we don't harm coral and little fishes in the sea with our chemical offloading, which is pretty heavy. So that's some key personal care products just shown and shared to show that there are alternative choices that we can make as consumers. I'm now going to talk about some feminine care products, so if you don't really want to know about those, then I'll say thank you for listening, and there's my website below this video. And if you do want to know about feminine care products, then stay on, because there are, you know, a number of different types. Often you'll see ones that are packaged like this. This is used with non-bleached materials, so the pad itself isn't bleached. As you can imagine, using ones that are bleached, that means you're having bleached chemicals near your skin, as well as in the packaging. This is biodegradable packaging for sanitary pads, as well as these are panty liners and tampons. And then there are also the reusable type of sanitary pads that just kind of secure onto your underwear, and you can put a little liner in there, or even some tissue, and just change that as you need, and then change the entire pad and rinse it off and put it in the wash, and it works really, really well, especially, you know, if you're not having such an active day, you can use different products at different times according to what suits you and is comfortable for you. And there's also moon cups. So this obviously reduces again the amount of waste material, because you just pop this in, secure it to your cervix, and it collects all your blood, and you just change that as you need. There's instructions with moon cups on how you might use it yourself, and it's again to do with what's your own comfort zone, and you know, it's important to be comfortable, because we can't be kind of ethical without being comfortable anyway. So, you know, be sensitive to yourself and your own needs, as well as the environment, you know, when it comes to your choices for the personal care. But these products are all really, really effective. They're really lovely to use, and you know, you can feel good that you're not putting unnecessary chemicals into your own body or into the waterways, and that your personal care products are not being tested unnecessarily on animals, or not being produced through the exploitation of cheap and poorly treated labour forces, which is really important when dealing with chemicals, because obviously different countries have different standards, and then some people get exposed to horrible toxic chemicals for like really, really pittance pay, because that is what happens when you have a dominant economic system that preferences profit over quality and care. So that is really, I wouldn't say a nutshell, because it's been quite a long video, but that's kind of what I wanted to cover on personal care. So thank you very much for listening. I do hope all is very well, and until next time, take care, bye.